hey, don't forget, Father's Day's coming up pretty soon. Get me something great. I don't know, I'm suggesting.
How cute is that?
Good job. That's a baby. Baby monitors. Now, when I was a kid, actually I don't even think I had a baby monitor. My parents would just leave the door cracked and go out and cut the grass. The truth is, baby monitors have come a long way. I mean, back in the day, they used to look like this. I mean, what is that, a walkie-talkie? And who chose that color? Someone was like, we'd like to make it look like the baby has already thrown up on these walkie-talkie monitors. That's gonna really sell. But these days, look at this thing. You can get these monitors with cameras that are HD, they have sound detection, they can play lullabies, they can even, some of them use Wi-Fi to connect to an app. You could be at dinner, you drop the kids off with your friends or your relatives or not. You get on your phone and you check the app and you're like, boom, I can see everything that's happening. They've come a long way. So today I'm talking specifically about the Teble baby monitor. Now, I'd never heard of Teble, but they reached out and said, hey Bradley, we like your YouTube videos, would you be interested? They're a Chinese company that makes a whole lot of different tech products, all for the home, trying to make the home smarter, easier to use, right? So smart locks, projectors, and now baby monitors. The one that we have is from my daughter, who's now 9, as of a couple days ago, which means obviously the tech has come a long way. That camera setup was fine, but the battery was always dying. Let's give it a shot, let's check it out. So they sent it. So it came in a cool box. Let's get some specs out of the way. Up top, 5.5 inch, very clear, 720 screen. That's HD, still HD. It's not full HD like 1080, but you don't really need 1080. You just need to make sure that the room is safe and your baby's safe. And so 720 is great. Huge upgrade from where we were coming from. The battery life on this thing is extremely impressive. 17 hours of just audio. So if you turn the screen, just push the button and turn the screen off, it's still on and it's using audio. You get 17 hours of this thing unplugged, walking around in your house, just out in your yard, whatever. 10 hours with the full video on the whole time, which is pretty impressive as well. The range on it, they claim, is about 300 yards. That's 3 football fields. That's a lot farther than you should probably be from your child. I haven't tested it, haven't gone that far. We're in an apartment and it's fine. That said, I have lived in many apartments and I've had issues in the past where the walls were too thick or there was issue with the monitor itself. The last monitor that we had would always just like beep, beep, because it was out of range even though it's 30 feet from our child's room. So I don't even have to put the antenna up on this, but it kind of looks cooler that way, I guess. Now, one of my questions to Teble, I had emailed them about this, was about security. That's a big thing, right? A lot of monitors have Wi-Fi. They use that as a way to exchange information and send, you know, video back and audio back, and people can hack that pretty easily. So I was curious about that. I got a great answer. It uses FHSS. This is a frequency hopping what's it called? Frequency hopping spread spectrum. I had to look it up. Essentially what it does is normally if you have 2 wireless things talking to each other, like let's just say this has a frequency like an address and this has a frequency and they can talk to each other because they know it. But this one has a frequency hopper. So they're both changing, they're staying connected, but they're changing frequencies, which makes it much harder for anybody outside of the house to try to kind of hack in. Now the camera is really basic. 720p HD, a little bit bigger than some of the other monitors I've used, but it's fine. It's not so much bigger that you couldn't mount it on the wall. It does come with a mounting bracket, or like in our case, we just stuck it on the dresser, put it on top of some books to raise it up to be able to give it a better view looking at our child. It can pan 340 degrees, so that's almost all the way around, and it can go full 90 up and down, which is nice too. You're like, did we turn the fan on? Ah, we did. Okay, great, back down again. Now, one of my favorite things about this, right out of the box, easy to use. Everything's already paired. You could add multiple cameras if you want, but I was like, oh shoot, we're gonna have to do a whole pairing thing, which I've had in the past, especially with Wi-Fi monitors. You know, you travel to someone else's house, you gotta get their Wi-Fi information to be able to pair. No. This talked right away, right out of the box, plugged it in, that was it. Anything making your parent life easier, I'm a fan of. On the monitor itself, it's actually pretty big. This is my iPhone 13, so you can see it's a good bit bigger, thicker. This is kind of what you're working with, but it's fine. You're not gonna put this in your pocket. It's probably sitting on the windowsill like it is at our place. There's a couple of really easy to use buttons here. You can go to the full menu And there's things like sound detection. So you can say how loud you want to get an alert. If your baby is screaming or if they're just like whining a little bit, you know, you can determine that. A temperature alarm, which is pretty cool. It has a temperature readout and it'll tell you how hot or cold it is in the room. And if you set it for a certain temperature, like maybe your AC turned off and you didn't know and it's getting too hot, it'll tell you. There are lullabies. You can put on lullabies. I don't think that's ever worked for us. We usually use white noise, but that's a possibility. Screen sleep, how quickly this turns off, which saves battery. Feeding, it will actually remind you when you need to feed. So it'll, if you've got a new baby and you know every 3 hours your baby has to feed or something like that, you can set that and it will beep, 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 remind you. Obviously it's not dinging in baby's room, but it's letting you know. And I thought that was kind of a cool feature. And then your basic settings that you can get into. What I really like is you don't have to go through any of that panel. There's a shortcut button on the front. Boom, hit that, and it gets you to volume, up and down. Obviously very important to be able to hear what's going on in the room. And contrast, how bright do you want the monitor, how less bright, I guess how dark do you want it. There's also a talk button, so you can be like, hey, don't forget, Father's Day's coming up pretty soon. Get me something great. I don't know, I'm suggesting. So I've had this for about 2 months, and I'll say there's only really 2 downsides. One is the size of it. The camera itself, a little bit bigger. If you can deal with that, then great. Not the easiest thing to travel with in terms of like if you're gonna fly somewhere, you need to have a carry-on bag, but you're probably checking a bag if you have a baby because you've got a million diapers and things that you can't believe that you have to take all these things with this little. I've been there, is what I'm saying, I've been there. So the size is something to keep in mind. Also build quality. I have had a little issue with the front of the screen. I see it's already kind of coming off here. Let me just the front of the screen here kind of popping up a little, and this has happened fairly naturally. It's not because it's been thrown around. Clearly I have done that, and my son has pulled it down a few times onto the ground. But it's an easy fix. You just push it back in, popped in, ready to go. It comes right out of the box with all the things that you need. The charge cables, it uses USB-C, by the way, which is kind of nice because a lot more products are going to USB-C. So that's nice to have. You probably have one of those cables on hand, and if not, now you do, and you can use that for your other products too. All right, guys, there you go. That's it. That's my review on the Teble baby monitor. I would say my highlights here: great battery life, really nice screen quality, and affordable. Not too expensive, not too cheap, somewhere right in the middle. Also really easy to set up. I really love that as well. So there you go. Hopefully this review helps you make a better buying decision. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, BHAZ, as well as subscribing to the channel. Ding! That's all you gotta do is a little ding, subscribe so that you can get more reviews that help you, and you helping me helping you. It's a symbiotic relationship. All right, have a great day.